Alright, I'm gonna do a video about Sagittarius sun signs and everything that is associated with the Sagittarius sun, all the witchy correspondences to the Sagittarius sun, and everything I can tell you about it, about Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is the centaur, is symbolized by the centaur, which is a four-legged horse-man hybrid creature in Greek mythology. And the centaur has a history of being very well connected to the currents of the time, being very wise and very heady, very philosophical. And that's the idea that the centaurs have, that they are really known for being wise creatures that have done a lot of exploration in the area of psychology or philosophy. And exploration is a key word for Sagittarians, being that they're known for, here's one of their traits, they're known for going off into the big unknown, and that's a defining quality of the Sagittarian, the Sagittarius symbol in the zodiac. And Sagittarius is the 9th sign of the zodiac, which is said to begin at Aries in traditional astrology. So Sagittarius is known for going off into the deep unknowns. They're very much a sign that is okay with the idea of deep diving into some barren place, a wilderness, with minimal, supervision, minimal resources, minimal preparation. Very much a sign that's on the fly. Sagittarius is a mutable zodiac sign, and that is the sign multiplicity that is most changeable, most fluid, and flowing with the motion, flowing with the times, thinking off the top of their head. That's a Sagittarian quality, that's a mutable quality. And there are 3 multiplicities, which deserves its own video to describe what the multiplicities are. Like I said, there's 3 of them, and all 12 zodiac signs fall into one of the 3, and mutable is one of them. So what else can we say about the centaur icon for this zodiac sign? They're very hard-headed, and maybe they're more flawed side, because nothing exists without some kind of downfall. The downfall of a centaur might be something about being hard-headed, being stubborn. They're also known as fierce warriors, so fierce in battle. That's another aspect to consider about Sagittarian. So hard-headedness, arrogance may be a downfall of the Sagittarian. They're very big, they bring something big to the room. They don't toss like nickels into the bucket. They're bringing up a whole 50-cent coin. They're bringing quarters. They're really big. So that's why I would say to know that a Sagittarian's downfall might be their pride, as opposed to another more receptive symbol that that would benefit from being more egotistical. So Sagittarius is a fire sign. There's 4 elements that rule the zodiac, and Sagittarius is under the fire sign. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the biggest planet in the solar system, and that we know of. The big planet, the really big planet. So Jupiter, when you picture Jupiter, if you've ever seen, you know, the NASA photographs of the solar system and the planets, up close photographs of the planets, which is amazing that, you know, we have photograph evidence of how these planets appear up close and in high quality. That's amazing, just gotta say. Shout out. So Jupiter, you look at it, and it's been described, it's been documented that Jupiter has a whole lot of surface storms. It has a whole bunch of storms. It's all storing, and there's a center, and we call that the eye of Jupiter. That's the red eye of Jupiter, and this is something we see in pictures. And I think it's interesting when I'm meditating on Sagittarius. Sometimes I meditate on the planet Jupiter, and I conjure the image in my mind's eye and look at it, the swirls, red, gold, cloudy, and it's all coming to a peak at this eye point, this center point, which is a little bit down left of center in the way I see it. So I use that meditative tool when I'd like to conjure a connection to Sagittarius. I find it interesting and relevant, since this is the traditional ruling sphere of Sagittarius. It's ruled by Jupiter. So whenever I want to think about Sagittarius, I conjure an image of Jupiter and use that as a basis to explore the symbol, the zodiac symbol. So Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Okay. So now I've told you the planetary association, the element, mythological reference, other animals that are associated with Sagittarius are salamanders, snakes, horses, and Sagittarius on the human body. Every part of the body has a planetary zodiacal ruler. And Sagittarius is the ruler of the thighs, hips and thighs. Hips and thighs, that's what Sagittarius rules. For some reason, I personally forget about the hips a lot of the time when it comes to meditating on this aspect of Sagittarian. I forget about that, but that's a personal sidetrack. For some reason, I think of the thighs, forget about the hips a lot when I'm recalling this fact. Alright, so now you know the physical association on the body. There are charts and grids out there. I'll draw up my own and put that in my compendium of charts and things, and upload it all to share it with all of you. By the way, I have okay, no. Excuse me. So, moving on, there are some stones that are associated with Sagittarius. I often prefer stones that are dark blue. Also pyrite. Apatite is a dark blue stone. The reason I say pyrite is also known as fool's gold. And if you've seen pyrite, it's an igneous rock. It's very shiny. It's got a bronze golden kind of hue. I've usually seen it in cube shapes. And this is a stone that I've seen corresponded to Sagittarius, though I would use a pretty free hand in picking out stones yourself. Generally, more darkly colored stones, grounding stones, are better suited for Sagittarian needs and manifestations. And for the colors for Sagittarius of the aura, it's very associated with dark blues, golds, sort of royal, high-thinking power colors. So another thing that may be a pitfall of the Sagittarian impulse, which is a very brave impulse, a very passionate impulse, always bringing good cheer and hope, and anything that is placed before Sagittarius will blow into, like blowing one of those dandelions, a dandelion puff. You know, you blow on it and it just throws out hundreds of seeds all around and spreads all these seeds around. Now you have more dandelions. I don't know about you, I always like to pluck dandelions. It's a little wishful maybe, but I enjoy it. I like to blow them all, and it's just nice. It's just a light-hearted kind of interaction. That's kind of like what Sagittarius does for the room, for people. They take something small and they make it really amazing and bountiful. So that's important to know, because you're thinking about Jupiter when you think about Sagittarius. And Jupiter is astrologically, traditionally, the planet of expansion, outward growth. So Saturn is a planet of contraction. Saturn is Father Time, and we'll talk about Saturn when I talk about Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. So contraction, and Jupiter is expansion. So these are two qualities, right? These are two verifiable events that'll happen in a world of physics. Sometimes things contract into themselves, and sometimes they expand outwards, shrinking and puffing out. So, in short, Sagittarius would be bringing something from inside and making it greater and bigger and wider and just bigger and more shareable, more widely spread, and often joyous. Good fortune, luck, these are associated with Sagittarius. They're known for getting by on luck off the seat of their pants. Jupiter is often a symbol of luck. Travel is very important. You can often find these people wanting to move from place to place, movement, travel. Very hard to stop. That's why they're all about the legs, four-legged. Even a snake, moves quite a lot. Their whole body is most suited to be able to travel quite far, and also solitarily. So good luck, travel, expansion, movement, fortune. All of these are associated with Jupiter, which is Sagittarius. And that's mostly it for Sagittarius. For part 1, I'll do another one, possibly. Yeah.